It's me, the ukulele teacher, here for Vlogmas Day 6, which means I'm halfway through, which is fantastic. Thank you guys for sticking with these vlogs and for watching them and for sharing them and for giving them the thumbs up and subscribing and everything you guys do, because basically without you guys I couldn't do what I'm doing now, and I love what I'm doing now. So thank you to each and every one of you for watching my videos. Yesterday's vlog, I'm well aware, I watched it back and I felt like maybe I came across like I was sort of moaning or I don't know, complaining. Like basically I felt like I wasn't my sort of normal happy-go-lucky self. And am I still in focus? Yeah. I felt like I wasn't really my normal, you know, happy-go-lucky self, and you know, I know a lot of people think that I have it easy, and I know I have an amazing job, and I'm very, very lucky and very grateful and happy. But I basically wanted to show you that there is very much an upside to what I do, and you know, I'm really happy and grateful for what it is that I am doing. So I wanted to show you guys a few of my favourite YouTube souvenirs that I've collected over the years. Just some really cool knickknacks or bits and pieces that I have got over the years from doing YouTube. So, firstly, as you guys have probably seen in the thumbnail, I think, this is my YouTube silver play button. It's so reflective, it's almost impossible to be able to shoot this thing without getting lights and things in the background. But basically, I got this for reaching 100,000 subscribers. And I think it took me nearly 4 years, and I never thought it would happen. I mean, I never expected it to happen, but once it did happen, I was like, this is incredible, I can't believe it. And now, the reason I'm showing you this is because now I am this close, and I mean like super close, to reaching 1 million subscribers, and for that I'll get a big gold plaque, which I've seen one at the YouTube Space in LA, and it seems like it's sort of 2 or 3 times as big as the silver one. So I can't wait for that. I was hoping I might get it in time for Christmas, but I don't think that's going to happen now, but I'm really, really close. And it would be cool to get one of those. So this is my 100,000 silver play button, and I'm so proud of it and so thankful to all of you guys who have subscribed and who helped me get this. When I got the ukulele app, when I sort of teamed up with the guys who made the ukulele app for me, we have this really talented artist, Carl, who did all the artwork for the app, and he actually gave me this design, and I've used it to create these postcards. And I've got a PO box, and people write to me, and I promise you, every single person who writes to me, I send them back one of these postcards, I answer the mail, and I just really love having these postcards. I think it's a really cool souvenir. So if you want one of these, then send me a message to the address on screen, somewhere on the screen. What else have I got? Oh yeah, here, a friend of mine, Matt, wrote a joke book recently, which actually is really, really funny. I don't know why I said actually. It is really, really funny. But Matt, I've been friends with for goodness knows how long, maybe 10, maybe 15 years, a long time anyway. And he asked me to write the foreword for his book, and I did that, and I'm very proud that it says foreword by John, the ukulele teacher, Atkins. And it's a really funny book, and it's actually a great Christmas present, but I don't want to plug it too much, but there's a link in the description, ha ha ha. This is really cool. If you can see this here, it's a notepad. Basically, this is a notebook that I was given by Google the first time I ever went to what at the time was the Google offices. Before I did the ukulele teacher, I was involved in another YouTube channel, and this is my sort of Gray's Sports Almanac, because I was involved in this channel, we kind of accidentally got invited to this talk at Google, and this American guy had flown over to London, and he'd just written this thing called the YouTube Creator's Handbook, which I actually don't think they have anymore, but he basically went through it and told us what at the time were the secrets for making a successful YouTube channel, kind of the ideal video length, the best times to upload, the best way to edit your videos, all these like really cool tips and tricks that had worked for a bunch of people who've become YouTube famous back in those days of around 2008, 9, 10-ish. And you know, I didn't have any real say in the YouTube channel that I was on before, but I kind of made a load of notes and I wrote them all down in this notepad, and I had this idea like bubbling in the back of my head for a while I was sort of thinking, I wonder if I could do a YouTube channel of my own, and if I could, what would I do it on, and how would I do it? And you know, a few months later I had the idea to do this ukulele thing, and you know, just for fun, I sort of went through all the notes I'd made on here, and it said, you know, make your video like no longer than 5 minutes and upload it on Sunday at 7 o'clock, and make sure the intro is only 2 seconds long. All kinds of, like, you know, I mean, I've got like half a pad full of notes here, and I followed every single one to the letter, and at the time that basically seemed to be like the key to the YouTube algorithm. So I always say this started as a joke, and it really did. I had no idea what would happen when I started doing this, but instead of like nobody watching my videos, all of a sudden hundreds and thousands of people were watching these videos, and people were leaving comments and asking me to do more. So I started making videos like once a month if I had time, and then after about a year I was able to monetize the channel, and after that I was able to quit my job after a couple of years. So without this book, this is like kind of my Bible. I mean, a lot of the rules to please the algorithm have changed now, obviously, but this book and the YouTube Creator's Handbook is something that absolutely changed my life. So that is awesome. Here is a flyer, and even if it's in focus, I'm guessing most of you guys won't be able to read it because it is in Slovenian, I guess, if that is the name of the language. But the long and short of it is, I got flown out to Ljubljana in Slovenia about 2 years ago, 2016, it was only last year, wow. So much has happened in my life in the last year. On June the 9th, to do an evening with the ukulele teacher in Slovenia. I don't speak any Slovenian, I'd never been to Ljubljana before, but Flight Music, who you know, have sent me ukuleles, they flew me out there and they put these in their local music store, and I actually made a little vlog about it when I was there, but it was so much fun, and I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I get myself into these things, but basically I somehow performed a one-man, 2-hour show in English to a bunch of people in Slovenia on my birthday in 2016, and it was crazy. And when I saw this flyer in the music store, I was like, I'm going to take one of these home because that's a really cool souvenir. You can watch my vlog about that particular experience if you want to. I'll put a little link to it up here somewhere. Let's come back to that one. This is a copy of Ukulele Magazine. It's a really cool ukulele magazine. This one, I think I did have one that wasn't wrapped, but this one is still sealed. So I must have given the other one to my parents, I think. But basically, again, it's a big ukulele magazine that comes out a couple of times a year, 4 times a year, I think. And I was interviewed for it for an article on people who play the ukulele on the internet. Basically people who have their own ukulele channels, and me and a couple of other sort of ukulele stars from YouTube had a little feature, and I had a picture up and an article in there, and it was really cool to be a part of the Ukulele Magazine. So I was really excited to be featured in that. And in fact, when I performed at the ukulele festival, the Los Angeles International Ukulele Festival, people come up to me and ask me to sign them, so that's very cool as well. Here we come to the really cool ones. This is a really nice one. This book is by Will Grove White of the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain, and they are, I mean, especially if you live in England, although they are world famous, but if you live in England, they are like the #1 ukulele thing. They're on TV all the time and on the radio, and about a year or two back, I actually got a message on my Facebook page for the ukulele teacher from Will, who is a member of that orchestra, saying, could I give them a hand with their YouTube presence, because they have a YouTube channel but they weren't really sure what to do with it or how to kind of maximize its potential. And you know, I had a really long chat with Will, and he's a lovely guy, and you know, he was really cool to me, and he sent me a copy of his book. And when they came out to America last December, they actually gave me free tickets to go and see them for me and my wife, and we saw the Ukulele Orchestra in Los Angeles, in California. And afterwards we hung out with them for a couple of hours and had a good chat with Will and with Peter, and met some of the other guys in the orchestra as well. And it was just one of the most, you know, fun, lovely times of my time out here in America. I really enjoyed meeting them, and it was so exciting for me because they're sort of big people in the ukulele scene, and yeah, and it's just cool that I can kind of call them my friends. I don't know, is that too much to say? But we had a really nice time. It was a really fun evening with them. And in fact, when I went back to London in the summer, I went up and visited Will and interviewed him for the channel, and we did a little duet together, and that was really fun as well. So thank you, Will, and the rest of you guys in the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. This is the big one that I was waiting to show you guys. This is a vinyl copy of Uptown Funk that was made for MasterCard as part of a promotional campaign that they did with Mark Ronson for the Brit Awards. And this was, again, one of the most incredible stories, incredible things that has ever happened to me. I'm not sure how much I can talk about it, actually, because we signed quite a lot of NDAs. But basically, again, I got a random email from someone saying, hey, we're making a TV thing about people who post cover versions of music on YouTube. Would you be happy to be interviewed for it? And that was the extent of the information I got. So I was like, yeah, okay, why not, you know, because I'm always happy to talk about myself, as you guys are probably noticing from this Vlogmas. And after that, you know, they gave me a phone call, and then they asked me to come into this office block in central London for a more formal interview. And then basically the next day they said, okay, we're going to send a car round to pick you up. Please bring your ukulele and some overnight clothes. And that's all we can tell you. We can't tell you any more. And they put us up in this beautiful hotel in the middle of London. And then the next day we all got in a minibus, and they drove us to Abbey Road Studios and asked us to record Uptown Funk together. Now this is a bunch of, you know, this is myself and a bunch of other musicians who are or were or are, I guess, YouTubers. And they're all lovely people we'd never met before. We all played kind of different music, different musical instruments, different styles of music. But somehow it all kind of came together. And then halfway through the day we were recording this cover version in Abbey Road Studios, which was like blowing my mind. And just halfway through a take, Mark Ronson walked in and sort of said, hey guys, surprise, I'm here to help you, you know, mix and produce this. And it was just a bizarre and surreal and amazing experience. And then a few months later, they sent it to us on vinyl. So it was like incredible. But another part of, as well as like the whole experience of just going to Abbey Road and meeting Mark Ronson and recording and all of this, is the cool people that I met as well. There's Blair and Anna, who are the singer and guitar, or acoustic guitar guy, from Scotland. And Ross, who's sort of teaching me how to play the electric guitar right now over the internet. And then, really cool, I don't know how well you can see it, is Sarah and Laura, the Iob sisters, who, I don't know if you're sort of aware of the classical music scene, but ever since we met, they have just been going from strength to strength. They are like massive stars in the classical music scene now. They recently played at like the Royal Albert Hall. I think they might have played at the Millennium Dome. They're on TV all the time. They're on Classic FM in England. So they're like huge stars now. At the time, you know, none of us knew each other, but they are so cool. And we turned out that we lived very close to each other in London. And in fact, this is a really cool kind of secret story that I never actually shared with anyone before. But they came around to my apartment when I proposed to my wife. I sort of hid them in the living room, and they had their violin and their cello. And I told my wife, oh, just come in here a second, I can hear some noise, come in here a second. And she came in and they played some beautiful music, and then I got down on one knee and proposed to my wife. And they were a big part of that, and luckily she said yes. Otherwise I might not feel so fondly towards them. But thank you so much to the Iob sisters, because they're really cool, and they are just going to be huge. I mean, they're already huge, but so nice to be able to call them, you know, my friends. And that's like a really cool thing that happened just off the back of being a YouTuber. So that's like one of my life experiences that I would have just never had if it wasn't for YouTube. And off the back of that, because it was for MasterCard, who sponsor the Brit Awards, we got invited to the Brit Awards. And in fact, here is my ticket for the Brit Awards. So after that day, they sent us tickets to the Brit Awards, they sent us that vinyl thing. And in fact, I got interviewed by the local paper. A guy wrote a story about me in the local paper, and all the people at my work saw it, and they realised, hang on, this guy isn't just doing this for a hobby. He's really sort of doing something cool here. And in fact, not long after this story came out, I actually was able to quit my job entirely. So thank you so much to that. And at the Brit Awards, all over the O2 Arena in London, they had these programs that were just free to everyone, so every single person there got one. And on the back cover, they had a picture of yours truly and the rest of us guys with Mark Ronson doing that. So that is like a souvenir program from the 2016 Brit Awards, and I'm on it front and center. And in fact, the really cool thing is when we got the tube, we got off the tube at the O2 Arena, and our poster was everywhere. We were on the billboards all the way along the tube station, or along the tube platform, all the way up the escalators, all the way from the station to the O2. And apparently it was in Greenwich, those posters, those billboards were in Greenwich for a long time after the Brit Awards as well. So I really was kind of famous for a little while around the Brit Awards, but again, just getting to go to the Brit Awards was a really cool experience for me. And in fact, I can't believe it was only last year, so much has changed in that time. I've moved to America, I've got married. It seems kind of like 100 years ago, so it's kind of crazy. But anyway, I just wanted to show you some of these cool things to say that, you know, some days are really hard work, like yesterday was, but I just stop and look around sometimes and see some of the cool things that I've sort of accomplished or been able to get out of, you know, the experiences that I've had from doing this thing. And it makes it all worth it. And to be honest with you, even just getting a little thumbs up on these videos makes it worth it, or knowing that people watch it, or people like me, or people enjoy them, or sometimes people just hate them, I don't know. But just knowing that people all over the world watch these videos and some people get a kick out of them, that also makes it really worthwhile for me. So for as long as I can, I'm absolutely always going to keep doing this. Who knows how long YouTube will last for, or any of this stuff, I don't know. But believe me, as of right now, I'm just planning on keeping this going for as long as I possibly can, because I've just got such a great life at the moment, and I'm so thankful to everyone and everything. Okay, now I'm rambling, so I'm gonna call it a day. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys for a more conventional Vlogmas tomorrow. Goodbye.